Right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. This is Philip Oladejo, the Executive Director of the Global Authors Business Award UK. And I'm so glad to come your way again on the show. And apology for um, uh, a bit of delay today. We had a bit of a technical issues before we started, so about 6 minutes behind. So I sincerely apologize for that delay. So I am so excited again, and it's a joy to be here in the studio again tonight. I have two amazing, incredible business gurus here today, and I have Bryan, who is a business coach in UK here, and also have Abideen, a very young, intelligent businessman here in the UK at the show today. And today, together, these two combined will be sharing their journey to greatness. So, if you're watching us from any part of the world, get ready to be inspired today by this amazing, amazing coach and property guru on this show today. So, have a pen and paper to write something down. I am Philip Oladejo, the Executive Director of the Global Authors and Business Award UK. And if you're in the UK, just let you guys know, on the 28th of October, we have the LinkedIn Hangout and the Global Authors and Business Award networking event on the 28th of October. Yes, the link is actually on your screen right now. If you want to attend, click on that link and you can book a ticket for yourself. We have two types of tickets. The we have two types of attendee tickets. We have the general ticket, which is £25, and also we have the VIP ticket, which gives you the access to the VIP areas, and also get to meet with our VIP speakers and take pictures with them. So that takes place on the 28th, which is next week Friday. Next week Friday here in the UK, the holiday in High Street, Kensington. If you know Kensington very well, it's not far from the Buckingham Palace. So it'll be amazing, a great time of business networking for coaches, speakers, entrepreneurs, property gurus who are based in the UK. And also, another exciting news is on the 16th of December 2022, we have the Global Authors Award and the Business Award UK. And I have incredible speakers, from the UK, from Canada, from the US. The Canadians are bombarding the UK. So if you are in the UK, go and grab yourself a ticket as soon as you can. And if you're a speaker, if you are a coach or entrepreneur or property group, you can as well get yourself in there. We have 10 different awards at the night. It'll be amazing. So again, thank you for watching for this show this afternoon. I am Philip Oladejo, the founder and the director of the Global Author. So again, thank you for watching. I want to just ask you guys, if you're watching, share the broadcast and subscribe also to our channels on the our YouTube channels. Okay, when you subscribe to the channels, you can be notified when we have events or information. So I'm getting ready to bring my guests onto this show. Great! I'm so excited. I am so excited. Listen, these two guests, Bryan, she's a coach based in Swindon in the United Kingdom, and Abideen is also a property guru in the UK, and it's doing amazingly well. So these two will be sharing their journey, how everything started. So if you are in business or you are in any kind of type of an endeavor, you want to learn from people on how they started the journey and what are the obstacles that they have faced. So join me as I bring to the studio Debbie and Abideen to share this story. So subscribe to the channels so we notify you of any issue. I think you said we might be having some connection issues. So I'm just waiting to get my client onto the show. Um, the IT is always having its issues. So I'm sure we won't have any issue bringing my guest in. So just give you a little bit of information about my guest. I start with Abideen. Abideen is a young Nigerian guy who has been in the UK for some time, some couple of years, and he has. During my interview, my conversation with Abideen, was actually working as a waiter at a restaurant. And one day, somebody asked him, he had the opportunity of speaking to one of the clients, and he asked the client that at the hospital, and he asked the client about what has been her achievement, and the response was the client said to him that everything I plan to achieve on this earth, I have achieved it. So I am ready to go. And that was kind of a turning point for Abideen to say that everything that she has set out to do when she was younger, she has achieved. So the question to you is, everything that you have set out to do, your weekly plans, your monthly plans, your yearly plan. I know majority of people just do New Year resolution without following that through. So it's not enough to make plan. It is what is more important is when you are able to be diligent, committed to see that plans getting through. So it's easy to make plan, but what is more productive is when the plans is become a reality. So that was what changed Aberdeen's perception about life, and that was why he left that job and he started his property business. And today he's doing amazing, really well. He's doing well. So while we're still waiting for my audience, and let me speak to you about Debbie. Debbie Bryan is a business. She's a business coach. She started a couple of years ago, and she's been through a lot of challenges and obstacles. But in spite of that, she never allowed any of these challenges to affect her in any way. And that's why we have her on the show today. So good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching from. I'm Philip Oladejo, the Executive Director of the Global Autos and the Business Award UK. And I'm so glad to have you here today. And we're going to be sharing with you today the journey to greatness. How individual, people like yourself and myself, how they started a journey and how and where they are in the journey. So we are all in the journey, every single one of us, no matter where you are, whether you are in Africa, whether you are in Europe, you are in Asian countries, anywhere you are, we need to have the mindset that life is a journey. Life is a journey, and at every single journey, there will be different challenges. So we need to work on our mindset, working on our mindset to know that this is a journey. So at every single journey, at every single stage of life, yes, life is a journey, and at every single journey, there will be challenges. There will be challenges. There will be varieties of challenges. Now, what makes you to be successful is not how many challenges you face, with how many challenges you face, and you are not faced by that challenge. So life is a journey. Understand that, and every journey has its turns. Every journey has its turns. We've got to know that. when you I mean, I've interviewed so many, so many business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, successful people. I have the privilege of interviewing these people, and there's something that's common to every one of us. There are challenges that we have to face. We all have challenges. Your challenges might be different from mine, but there are challenges. There are challenges. So, I just wanted to have that mindset that we have challenges that we all have to face. So, it doesn't matter whether you are white, you are black, you are Asian, you are tall, you are fat, you are skinny. The main point is life is number one, is a journey. At every journey, at every stage, there are turns, there are ups and there are downs. So your when you are faced with your ups, understand that is one part of that journey. And when you are faced with the downside of the journey, you need to understand also that that is the down of that journey. So there's always two sides. There will be down, the time down, there will be hope. So that's why they say life is filled with ups and down. And at your ups moment, understand, visualize, see. Okay, right. I've been told that we are ready now to bring the guest on. So, are you ready? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So, let's go. So, these two have gone through their ups and downs. And today, yes, finally. You see, I was sweating. I was like, oh, guess what? Goodness me. Right. So let's just go straight to the technology. Right now, let me start by introducing to you a great coach from Sweden, uh, Debbie Bryan. Just a quick introduction of yourself, Debbie, so people audience can know who you are.
Hi, well, I thought we were never coming on. So my name is Debbie Bryan. I am a business motivation coach. So I work with business owners who have lost the passion in their businesses and show them how to put that back in. So, person who's waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking, "Oh my God, what have I done?" They're waking up on a Monday morning and going, "Is it Friday yet?" Then they need me, and they need me fast, really. So I can either fix that, or they just need me. So from the last 5 years I've been coaching, but I started with digital marketing. So I started with digital marketing, and then the lockdown happened. That happened to everybody, and I pivoted into more coaching and helping people. My passion is to really help people to get the results that they want, that they need, and to make sure that those results are the right results. I'll go in a minute, but I've had a journey over the last 12 years where I've been pretty stubborn and pretty got my own way, I suppose, but pretty stubborn. But I'll let Abideen introduce himself, and you can come back to me in a minute, I guess.
Absolutely. Come on, go, Abideen. Let's go.
Hi, Debbie. It's wonderful to see you again. Definitely a lot of business owners do need you, and we're glad that you're here providing that service, helping business owners. My name is Abideen. I am a property investor, and I specialize in rent to HMO, and I also I'm also develop properties as well.
Fantastic. That's a good introduction. Right. Then very quickly, when you started the journey, okay, how did it all start? What prompted you to become a coach?
It's a real hard one, actually, because I was a coach in a corporate business way back, and then came out of the corporate world into working for myself. And then I at one point had a hair salon, which was my joy, my passion, and so I absolutely loved it. It was a hair salon in a gym. And then, of course, what do? Is I break my leg, quite drastically so. And there's a whole story that goes with that, which is like 2 steps saved my life, which is the founder of my speaking business now. I broke my leg quite catastrophically, And I suppose my journey from breaking a leg, being in a hairdresser's, being in a gym, not being able to walk for a long time, I suddenly didn't fit into my business. I suddenly didn't fit into my world, and I didn't fit in pretty much anywhere, to be honest, of what I'd had the experience. And so I'll go into more detail with that in a minute. But realistically, I suppose my thing when I was hairdressing was that someone could come in and I could change their life in a day. You know, they could come in feeling terrible, come in and tell you their secret, and then you turn them around, make them look great, and send them out. And so I suppose that's kind of where my coaching came from, way back. But now it's for business owners. So it's for business owners that just struggle. And I think, you know, we've all been there. We're all business owners. We've all been there where you don't know where to turn. You've tried absolutely everything. You watched every webinar, every book, everything that there is on the internet, and you know, none of it's working. And so that's my passion, is to say, look, you know, guys, it doesn't have to be this hard. You don't have to hustle. There's a better way. And obviously the lockdown changed things for everybody as well, where it became more about teaching people on the Zoom, not so much in person. Yeah, I mean, I've worked with hundreds of business owners over the last 6 years. I've taught them digital marketing, the mindset. So it's really now, and my focus is just on that, I suppose, that unhappiness. Really, I got to a stage in my life where I felt like this isn't it. You know, what I was doing wasn't it. I've kind of been made in. It's a real hard one in the coaching world, but sometimes what I find is that, you know, you follow coaches and you think if you be like them, you'll get what they get. And the reality is that's not actually going to happen for you. Your coach is 10, 15 years ahead of you. And by the time you've caught up with them, they're still 10, 15 years ahead of you. So the bad news is that doesn't really work. What happens then is you fake. You start to feel a failure. You try and do everything. You start hustling. You think if you work harder, then you'll get those results. And that's what we're told. You know, that's what we're told on the webinars and everything else. But the reality is that what happens is that you feel rubbish. You start to think, God, this is just me. I can't do this. And then you stop showing up. And then what do? You maybe go and find another coach, and you start the whole journey all over again. So I was in that little bit of a cycle. I had a brilliant coach, but I changed myself, my outlook. I'm a master practitioner for NLP. So very much more, the journey is the most important part. You know, we, as entrepreneurs, the people I deal with, they're like racehorses, you know, like Abideen, they're running a million miles an hour. And if we all think we're going to be happy when we get to the result, I've met him before. If we think we're only going to be happy when we get to the result, when we get to X, do you know what happens is we move it to Y, and then we move it to Z, and then we go all the way around and go, let's start on the A. And so you live your whole life never ever getting to the result. So now I'm very much with my clients, like, their journey, great, it has to be fun, it has to be an adventure, it has to challenge you, it has to reward you, but it has to be a journey that you're living for your life, because that's just the game. That's the game now. It isn't just about results.
Wow, thank you, Debbie, for that introduction. I'm going to come back to that, because I put down a couple of things. Number one, so you began your coaching because you turn a situation into an opportunity. So, and that is what I'm going to capitalize on. So if you're watching us tonight, or wherever you are now, the point I'm going to come back to Debbie is that she was able to turn a situation into an opportunity. So wherever you are watching from now, there must be a situation that you need to turn into opportunity. So most people, when they face with challenges in life, they are not able to turn that, because you broke your leg, which was an issue, and you're able to turn that into it was a threat that you turn into an opportunity. So I'm going to come back to you on that. So Abideen, how did this? Oh, this guy is an amazing guy. How did it all start for you? I remember that story about working as a waiter, and you had a lady. I think your hospital, wasn't it, or something?
It was hospital. It was in a hospital.
Right.
I came to the UK in 2009. The goal for me was to come study medicine. Getting to the UK, I realized how expensive it is. So I had to settle for computer science, which which my school also got closed down. After that, I had to do whatever I can just to survive. I started with working as a healthcare assistant. I did security. I work in a hospital as a support worker. I think my journey really started things started moving for me after I gave back to my son in 2016, and myself and my partner made a decision who to go back to work and who should stay at home. And at that point, it made sense for my partner to go back to work as she was earning more money than myself at that time. And coming from Nigeria, you have so much expectations. You have younger ones looking up to you. You have your family depending on you. I got depressed. I went into
Wow.
depression. And looking back now, that is one of the greatest things that's happened to my life, because that was the first time I had to stop to think about what I do with my life. And depression got me to start thinking outside the box. I never know there are lives outside what I know, which is 9 to 5 or 5 to 9, whatever it is. I never know there's other lives outside of it. And having the opportunity to be at home, start looking at other opportunity, got me into reading books. And the first book I read was Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And that the first thing I learned from the book was being proactive. I just had to go for everything that's right in front of me. I was so hungry, and I got into Richard Poddard, uh, and I knew straight up after reading Richard Poddard what I want to do is property. Uh, before before getting into property, I knew that I needed some skills, which was sales.
Yes.
Um, and one thing I had to do was I had to develop that before my course started. So I had to go on I signed up for a door-to-door sales, which
Wow.
I learned how to handle rejection. And I'm
Yes.
sure for those who are aware about door-to-door sales, you have to knock on doors. You hear people blow your face. You stand in the cold, in the hot
Yeah.
weather. I, I
Yes.
can I can remember there was a time my legs were so freezing, but I couldn't go back home because I had a target I had to hit. Um, it was there I began to the ability to meet a stranger and get their information begins to fascinate me without selling a product, by the way. What we were selling was emotions. And that begins to play in my mind, and that was when I started falling in love with sales. I knew at that point, yes, I am ready for property now. Let's bring it on. So we went for the seminar. We got into the seminar. I knew if I'm going to go on the course, we don't have money to pay for it. So I had to take my partner along with me. After after the midday sales pitch, she was right in front of it, and I was like, yes, I got her. We signed up for the course. We didn't have no money to pay for the course, but we signed up, and I
Wow.
had to went her back to raise the money. And how I raised the money was asking my partner's younger brother to loan me the money, and I will buy him a fridge when he's moving into his new property, and
Wow.
as an interest. And that when I become successful,
Wow.
I, going on the course 3 day seminar, I could not remember anything. I went blank. But
Wow.
the only thing I could remember was go view properties, and I
Wow.
was off the block. I was viewing every property in my way: property to rent, property to buy, list option, buy, reform, refinance. I was everywhere until six
Wow.
months later. I realized I'm almost burnt out. Now I have to focus on one thing. Then I started to think about what exactly am I looking for in property, because I realized there's so many avenues in property to make money,
Right.
and for me it was cash flow, and the easiest way for me was rent to rent. That is how I got into rent to rent, and I knew I had to go for another course that specifically target rent to rent. So I had to sell my chain. I remember
Wow.
back in the days I had this chain, it's a Versace chain. Um, I thought this chain was valuable because I went to the Versace store to buy it, and taking it to the pawn shop, and I was told it's worth nothing. And that was my first introduction to financial literacy. Start understanding that there's difference between gold and good looking items. Uh,
Wow.
so I had this chain that was given to me by my partner. So I had to pawn that chain to go on my next course. Um, 3 months down the line, after finishing my course, then I realized actually I don't have the money to put that on the
Wow.
property. That's another
Wow.
challenge I had to go through. So I had to learn how to leverage debt. That was how
Wow.
I've been able to invest in properties. And fast forward today, we are doing well over £10,000 in cash flow, and around £500,000 in revenue, which is 5 years down the line, and never looked back since then. That's how it
Wow.
started.
What a great story. Listen, this is very inspiring with both Debbie and Abideen. Now, one thing I've noticed with these two stories is, and if you're watching, I want to encourage you to please share this broadcast and also register, subscribe to this channel. Now, look at these two stories. They both had an experience, and they had challenges. And instead of staying in that challenge, instead of just mourning, complaining, they did something about it. They took a step to make a change. And that's what Debbie and Aberdeen were talking about. It's about not about just facing the challenges, it's about taking a step to change it. Like Debbie broke her leg, but she didn't stop there. She went into coaching. She turned that situation into an opportunity. And the same thing with Aberdeen. They did that. So let me come back to Debbie. Now, you turn your the accident, what was meant to be like a threat to your career, you turn that around. What prompted you? Do you not feel sorry for yourself at that point? Because so many people, when they face with challenges, they feel sorry for themselves, and that's it. How did you manage? Where did they get the energy and strength from?
I so if I'm honest, right from the word, what actually happened was I had a road. I had a car that day, and a car hit my husband's car, and I was stood on the side of it, walking into the dual carriageway. It was January, so it was really bog going. And for a very long time to me, but I don't think it probably will die. I am literally going to die. Nowhere for me to go. And then I kind of just said, no, I'm not going. I'm not leaving me. My boys need me. I literally took 2 steps out of the way. When the car hit, it hit exactly where I was stood. Steps I would not be here to tell my what I didn't realise over the car hit, and then it hit my shoulder, and I was going to the road. Realised that I was in the lane of the dual carriageway, and I thought I'm going to get run over again. And what I didn't see, what was happening, if he come and see me, because he did, was one of the biggest things. So I did the road. The next day I said, those 2 steps you took, because my car was pivoted into the centre. So even I suppose at that moment, you know, I already know that's not for me. It just justified to do the rest of the story. My leg was broken. It was broken. But the doctors came, this is, you are going to use the leg. And I don't know if I was just cheeky. I was like, no, I've got a hairdressing salon on. I can't. And for some reason, come back the next solution for you, but you'll be able to use the leg. And I was like, that just can't happen. I don't know how it outraged, but for some reason, and then they come back and then they came back with a solution, burn up my hip and graft that, and it was a better scenario. So I suppose the lesson I learned there myself right from word go, in terms of why I did, because I was in the best case. You know, I was the luckiest person, and wheeled me around down to X-ray, like, oh, poor you, and I was like, I should be in the morgue. This is for me. So I'd already worst case scenario and stood there and came over. You know, I think my child was 19, 16, 30, and had seen it happen. I'd escaped. You know, so that mentality time I was unbearable. First year I was like, oh, it's Mother's Day, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. I was I'm living this second life. And I always said two things that I knew when death is staring you in the face was, well, that didn't come up, so I'm great. That's not really. And that was my business by that stage, and the leg was going to be. I didn't know how to. I didn't know for years I was going to really struggle. So I don't know if that's different. You know, what I was going to have to go through. All I knew, if I just kept fighting for me, that there was a worst case scenario. Abideen, maybe we talk for a bit and see if I can sort it.
Okay. Well, I listened to what you said, Debbie, and I was very, very inspired by that. And I want our viewers. I mean, I know we had a bit of the line was breaking up there, but I was able to capture some of the information you were sharing, Debbie. You know, and I want people to understand that in life there will be challenges, unexpected things are going to happen. So you can't just capitalize on what happened to you. You need to make an adjustment and make efforts to adjust to what happened. Now, being hit by a car is huge. You know, it's a life-changing, it's a life-threatening incident. But you were able to turn that around. That's why everyone watching the broadcast today, you need to understand. We got to understand that in life there will be challenges, there will be unexpected challenges, there will be things that you don't plan for. Life itself is a risk. So we must be, I'm not saying setting your mind thinking about problems or risk, but life itself is about risk. It's about taking that risk and making the adjustment. So things are going to happen in life as we go along the line. Now, we're not praying for bad things to happen, but things are going to happen. So wherever you are, you're listening to us on this show, have the understanding that things will happen along the line, but you need to make adjustment. There was a saying that it's not enough to be knocked down. It's more important to get up every time. So there will be challenges. So thank you so much, Debbie, for that. So I'm going to go to Abideen. So Abideen, you tell what I picked up is you came in here to study medicine, and you realize that things change, and you couldn't afford to pay the high fee. But some people, look, I know people who could have turned into drugs or who could have just lost it. But you were able to turn that case, that depressing case, into something profitable. So that's where we are here today. So, how did you change that?
Right. After giving back to myself, I knew I had. The question for me was, what kind of a man do I want my son to see, or what kind of a man would I want my son to be? And for me, that's the question I had to ask myself.
Mm.
And with that question, I found all the answers I wanted in it. I don't want to be someone who tell my son what to do. I want to be that example for my son of who to be. Now,
Right.
uh, yes, we all have our challenges. We all going to go through our own struggles, and those are our experience of life. It wasn't easy. Life was not meant to be easy anyway.
Right.
Because if it was easy, then everybody would be it would be boring because then there will be
Mm,
no story to tell. So
absolutely.
so for me, it was more of trying to be the example I want my son, my children to be, and that was what changed to me. That's that's what it is for me.
Right. Thank you. That's so. You have the mindset because you or the mindset of changing the situation because you wanted to be a good example to your son. So, which means that that was kind of that was a kind of a catalyst for you that changed everything. To say that's why you have to be strong mentally. So I would say I think that was what prompted you into what you're doing now. So you turn things around. So in life we're going to face challenges and all that. Now I know I'm going to ask Debbie and Aberdeen. You can connect with them on LinkedIn and also are you on Facebook, LinkedIn and Aberdeen?
Yes. I am. My name on LinkedIn is Abideen Kosoko, and
Yeah,
on Facebook is Abideen Omoba Kosoko.
fantastic. And Debbie, are you? I know you're on LinkedIn, so I'm just asking. So if we want to contact you for more information and support and help and possibly coaching, maybe how to transform their lives, their story, what is happening in their lives, how can they contact you, Debbie?
So I'm Debbie Bryan, coach on Instagram and on Facebook, and my coach.co.uk. Woody. If anybody knows, suppose I learned from it's not the best way to learn it, and I think as but people always talk to you about business rather
Yeah.
than in your business. And I kept the head after I broke the leg, and I actually it got worse. I was predicted continued hairdressing, so that's but I learned my business. I was I was going to lose my staff. I had a pretty good year, that the tragedy. So
But I like the fact because I know we've had the conversation before. This is what Debbie was trying to say. Um, um, Debbie had an accident, and at the same time from there, she went into hairdressing and now coaching. So you've managed to turn things around, move from one stage to another stage, and now you have become a great coach. Because I mean, I met you, I think 2 weeks ago in London, and we had a good conversation. And I've seen on your page amazing testimonies from your client. You're doing so well, and I'm so pleased to have two of you on the show today. And your stories are very inspiring. Wow, your story are very inspiring. We have two different people with different stories. With Aberdeen, and I think we have the same story, but we leave that to another day. I was doing sales too. I mean, years ago, about 20 years ago,
Wow.
I was working for a company called NTL. You wouldn't
Wow.
know about NTL. NTL. It was on commission only. I was a student. It was a commission only job, and I was a student. And you know that if you're on commission, you only get paid when you sign a deal. And
Yeah.
as somebody was saying, there was a day I was knocking on the door, and when the woman opened the door,
Oh, what tell
she,
you?
she just asked me to come inside. She pitied me so much. I mean, there was another man. He opened his door, and the father he saw me. He went, anything, whatever you are selling, I will buy it because I have gloves. I had gloves like that. Yeah, and I wooden. and my jacket was quite bigger than my size actually. And when you see me then, I don't need to say hello. You want to buy what I'm selling because it was the cold.
For
It
you.
was it was freezing cold. It was snow everywhere, and I knew that I couldn't afford to go back home that day without signing a deal.
Yes.
So, so
Yes.
I understand what it is to be a sales guy. But let me just ask two of you: through all these ups and downs in life, what has kept and sustained you, Debbie? What has kept you and sustained you?
I, I don't know. That's a hard one, actually. I think that nobody else would do. I think everyone else the same as me. They would have just kept pushing going because why would anybody would not nation please? They call me their work. Somebody else calls me another. Why I keep going? I already had the worst case scenario. This is in my best life. There's nothing worse that could go wrong in this or in life. You know, there's nothing worse where I had to accept what was going to happen to me. I thought, do you know what? For 10 years in the first place, I thought I should have like had an issue for that much time and so on. But my worst case scenario, and that car killed me. And so nothing, you know, that can't be fixed. Nothing as bad as that. You know, I work with amazing people. I'm very results oriented. You know, I've been on a journey. Now, I'm riding next month. The worst that can happen is that I don't do it. I suppose that's what drives me. Is that
Right. Thanks, David. I think we missed out a couple of things there. But one thing I've learned about I've learned from you from the conversation is that strong will, the ability to persevere. And I think we all need that in life. Perseverance is what we all need in life. Because again, as we said, things are going to happen in life. So we just have to persevere and find a way to overcome them. Because by complaining or by complaining will not change anything. So I think it's about that having that strong conviction about life to say I'm decided to make it in life. Is basically have that. I mean that was my driver at the time. I had a driver. My focus was I've just decided that I cannot go back. It was just too late. Well, I'm here now. So you just have to keep going. You know, it's like when you have that mentality that listen, it's too late for me to go back. It's just too late. The only thing is to keep going. I keep going stronger. So thank you, Debbie, for that. So Aberdeen, what has kept you with all these challenges to where you are now?
For me, I believe when a man has a purpose,
Purpose.
everything
Why?
everything begins to change. I think finding a purpose for myself was the beginning of my change. I wanted to be I wanted to be something more than
Wow.
who I was,
Wow.
and I
Wow.
was ready for me to it. I have children that are not looking up to me. I have younger siblings that
Wow.
that I am more or less like a role model for. I have my parents who has always hyped me up
Wow.
right from when I'm young to be someone extraordinary.
Wow.
So I cannot just let them down. It's a I don't want to be a hype job, and I don't want to be that father neither.
Wow.
So those are the things. So it has to work. I have no other way but to work. I
Wow.
need to make it work. That's what it is. I have not rest. What? So if I fall, where am I gonna fall down to? I'm already down anyway. I'm already down. So it has to work. Is it that it works or it doesn't work? Sorry, is it that it works or it works?
Yes.
That,
Wow.
that's what it is.
Wow, I love that. And this is Debbie and Abideen, you both inspired me today. Well, is that I think we just have to get to that level, and every one of us. I was reading about Michael Faraday's years, so I mean weeks ago. These are people that they were so determined, and and their determination has brought us what we have today. So
Yeah.
every one of us, we will have to face that challenge. We have to face that issue. There will be things that we have. For example, now you got hit by a car accident, and you did not allow that to deter you and deter your purpose. That was a really, really good lesson that everyone need to listen to. And I'm going to ask our audience if you are looking for a coach, someone that has been there, someone that has experienced it, you can actually get connected with Debbie Bryan on our LinkedIn page. Go and search for Debbie, connect with Debbie, and then have a connection. And also, if you live in the UK and you want to meet Debbie face to face, one on one, and have a picture with Debbie, you can attend the LinkedIn Hangout and the Global Authors event Hangout event on the 28th of October. Debbie will be speaking. Debbie is one of our VIP speakers at the event, so Debbie will be there. And also, Abideen, if you're looking into getting into property in the UK, you're looking for a coach to support you, somebody who has been there. You have some coach, yeah. They trained you based on things they've read on the book, not on the life experience. But I value life experience because I like somebody who has been there. They've been through it, they've experienced it, and they've come out of it. So these people are these two, Abideen and Debbie, are these two individuals who have gone through it. They've come through life, they've seen it, they've felt it, they felt the pain. So when they are coaching you, they're not coaching you from the book, from what they've read. They're coaching you from the life experience. So I want to ask you, connect with these two on their social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also for those who are watching, subscribe to their YouTube channel so that you can be notified of the next event and when the next show. So let me as we round up now, we have 6 minutes. I'm going to ask them and Aberdeen, what would be your advice to those who are working, to our viewers today, about what would be your advice to them? Let me start with Debbie.
My advice is just scenario. Somebody tells you something, then I strongly think that I really want to do, that you really want to do. Doesn't mean to send out some guidance or that from somebody who's got a certificate of the year. They've built business really impossible minds. If you want to do something, then I will never.
Well, so thank you. So what I was trying to say is, don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do something. Don't let any situation or circumstances prevent you from doing what you want to do, because life is meant to be lived. Challenges are meant to be faced. That is what life is about. It's about facing challenges, knowing what you want to become, go for what you want to become, follow through your dreams and your plan, and remain committed, consistent with it. So those are the words. So Aberdeen, let me come to you. Okay, what would be your advice for those who might be going through challenges, or who is trying to keep things together, or somebody who want to make life things for themselves? What would be your advice? They try to make things happen, but things are not happening at the moment. What would be your advice to them?
Right. There are a lot of things that could make things not happen.
Right.
And one of the things I I can talk on my experience. When your your purpose is not aligning with who you are as at your present self, or you don't even know what your purpose is, and this comes from asking yourself some questions that would contradict everything that you've already been taught or you've already known. And you're going to have to go through some mental battles and emotional traumas within yourselves, which you have to overcome. Majority of us do not allow ourselves to get that deep because we're scared of what we will find out from them. And without going through all those challenges, mental wrestle with ourselves, we will never come out with the other end. Most of the questions you want to ask yourself is who are you as a person? Why are you here? Well, for what? Where are you coming from? Where do you need to be? Those are the questions. These are important questions than any other thing you are or you are doing at the moment, because you would, like Debbie says in a pitch previously, as entrepreneur, we want to get to A or B so quick, and by the time we get to that B, we expect to find something there, and we find out that B doesn't really fulfill us. What is missing is our real purpose of who we are as a person, and what our goal, original goal of being created in the first place is meant to be. It's not a mistake. We are all born. There are about how many billions of cells that went into the ovulation for you to be chosen. It's for a reason. What's that reason? We tend to value things. We need money. Money is a vehicle. It shouldn't be the end goal. When you find that purpose, to go after the money becomes easy. So for me, first of all, identify what your real purpose is. Why are you here? Who are you meant to serve? Then you go for it. Whichever way, find the vehicle that makes you achieve it, or use whatever that your purpose is as a vehicle to achieve it. So that's my own message.
Wow, wow. I love that, that closing remark about finding purpose. And it's very important that we all find our purpose, understanding what is my purpose, what is I am here to do, what am I here to do, what am I trying to do, what is that end result, find that purpose. What is it? When you have the purpose, that becomes the driver. I think knowing the purpose becomes the driver. Knowing the purpose, find a solution, understanding what you are here to do, understanding what your strengths are and what you need to do, and finding what you need to do and go after that. You find the purpose. Know what your purpose, but what's your purpose? What are you here to do? What are the things that you can achieve? So I want to say thank you to our guests today, Debbie, Bryan, and Abideen. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, that journey to greatness. And thank you to all our viewers, all our contributors to the show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. So thank you. Just before we close, just remind you all, if you're watching the show, if you couldn't watch the show after now, please subscribe to the channels, the Global Authors and Award. And if you live in the UK, Aberdeen and Debbie will be at the networking event next week on the 25th, on 28th of October, and then you can have a personal picture with them. It'll be amazing, amazing time. So thank you so much for being at the show. Thank you for sharing your personal story on this the journey to greatness, and to connect with Debbie and Abideen. They are both on LinkedIn or on Facebook. You can check them out, connect with them, and I'm sure they will be able to help you out on anything, any challenges. So again, thank you all. Philip Olade, the founder of the Global Authors and Award UK. And let me just say this: these two speakers are going for an award in December. Wow!
Thank you.
Winning.
So I have a winning team. I have a winning team. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So as we draw the curtain, I want to say a big thank you to all our viewers, our contributors, Dr. Pastor Dr. Alo. Thank you for watching. My wife, Olale Oladejo, thank you. Chin 16, thank you. So I can't mention all of your names, but I want to say thank you, all of you, for being in the show today. I am your host, and I will be at the event next week, 28th of October. So if you haven't got your ticket now, go and get your ticket. It will be an amazing time. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a good evening. Thank you. Again, thank you, our guests. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yes.
Is it finished?
Yeah. No, I think we just I think we have just 3 more minutes yet. Also, thank you everyone who has been watching the show. It was great. It was amazing time with my guest today. A couple of things just before we go that I've put down, and I'm going to just share this with our viewers. Life is about challenges. Life is about challenges, and at every single stage there will be ups and downs. The first thing I've learned from our guest today is understand your purpose. Identify what's your purpose. What do you want to achieve? This is 2022 is not over yet. You can start a preparation for 2023. Begin to ask